Hi, my name is Kristi Leigh, and welcome back to another episode of the Praise and Worship Podcast. I'm thrilled today to talk with Kari Jobe. Hey, Kari.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Oh, we've been singing your song all year. And so to finally get to talk with you about the blessing and the songs on your new project, this is really awesome. So I think an official congratulations are in order now that the blessing has a Dove Award, right?
Oh, yeah. So cool.
It's a cool category. I think it's actually really appropriate for the worship recorded song of the year. There's all these different Dove categories, and it's nice to have, official awards, but this song has been all over the planet and it's been sustaining everybody in this tough season. But the recorded part, isn't that interesting? Because when you recorded it, you did live but recorded. I mean, what a weird hybrid for 2020, right?
Right. And we recorded not knowing we were going to get it out that quickly. We were just doing it at church that weekend at Elevation, not knowing it was about to just be released. And so special. So special.
It's been all over the globe, and people have been doing their own versions of it. It's just been such a special song. People probably ask me all the time, did you have any clue when that thing was hatching, when that little song was coming out of the little egg, did you have any feeling that this had the legs to go this distance?
No clue.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't know because you're just like doing the craft of songwriting. It did feel special that day. It felt really sweet. We'd been writing for quite a while. And so when we started leaning in on this idea, we all kind of felt like we need to stick around and just keep working on this. So it was like a 12-hour writing day, which is a long day. Yeah. It's a long day. But I didn't really fully maybe feel the what's the word for it, like the potential for maybe what it was until probably 1 a.m. that night when we were getting back to the hotel to go to bed. Their team at Elevation sent the demo, and Cody was like, you need to get your AirPods and listen to this. And I put my AirPods in, I sat there, and I just had warm tears down my face, and I was like, whoa, what is this? This feels really special. So we were just so anticipating to lead it that weekend, and then you see the rest of it on that video. So it's pretty cool.
I mean, the thing, it caught fire immediately. It like zoom right around the whole earth. It was amazing. Yeah. So congratulations and thank you for yielding in whatever way it took personally for that song to come out, because everybody needed it. And just a fun fact is that Waymaker, the other song everyone's been singing this year, also got Song of the Year in a different category for the Doves. So it's just cool to have both of those songs recognized.
Yeah, it's been sweet. I think it says a lot about where we have all been as people and what we've been clinging to. And that's just the promises of God, just his reminders of who he is, what his character is like in this super crazy season. So it's been an honor to be a part of that.
The whole new project, The Blessing, is filled with what Kari was just talking about. We've been playing you on WJTL since, I think it was like 2006, what feels like forever ago, Revelation song. And Kari's always had a sweetness combined with, this power and revelation. There's some new fire that feels like it's been lit under you for this record. I mean, what ignited everything that went into this? Because it feels like you have this real determination in the spirit when you're leading these songs.
I love this question. No one's asked me this actually. So it's like a couple of things come to my mind. We're a part of just such a strong community at our church, and we've just been seeing the presence of God move in a powerful way. So I think that's a big part of it, just being with like-minded, I call them fire-breathing worship leaders. I'm surrounded with them. And so we're always challenging each other, and we're in community, and we're doing life together. So I think that's a big part of it. This last year, I really had to go after healing of anxiety and fear and torment with my babies. if people are familiar with the garden season, my sister lost a baby, stillborn, and it was just a super difficult season to walk through. And I didn't realize that there was a remnant of fear and torment left over, that I just was so sick and tired of feeling so scared all the time, just feeling like tormented by the enemy with fear and anxiety of something that could happen to my babies. When you become a mom, it just kind of, man, that's a sensitive topic. So I kind of liken it to maybe like a mama bear type of fervency of, I really had to go after that in my life with my babies. And I think it started to come out in my music. Just going after healing for people, declaring the truth of God's word, and wanting people to really get that revelation, because it's been so life-changing for me.
I'm glad you said mama bear, because I do feel like there's a roar in you. Like,
yes.
Which I didn't know if I could use that word, because, but there is, and a combat boot kind of mama bear roar at that.
Which I wear Doc Martens when I lead worship, because that's part of it. I just feel this, like, I'm so tired of the enemy having his heyday in our minds, in our spiritual walk. In this season too, it's just been so difficult. It feels like this mute spirit trying to come and silence people. And so I just felt there was such a sacred and fervent, strong spirit of God while we were recording for this album. And you see it on my face, you hear it in my voice. And just my prayer for the church in this season, when I go into some spots where I'm like, reignite the fire, like just crying out to the Lord on the behalf of people, and myself and our church, and just crying out to God for his presence to overwhelm all the other stuff, and there's a lot of other stuff.
Well, there's tons of other stuff, but it's no match for the spirit.
Exactly.
And these songs, I love that the songs are getting so many places, but that a lot of inspiration came from, you have these pictures I've seen you talk about of little churches. Mm-hmm. What an ironic, I just love that process. You start with little black and white pictures of tiny churches, and then these songs that are being sung globally in massive arenas, but also during the pandemic, probably in very, in small homes. Right. So what a combination.
Right. Totally. They're right here. I can see my little church pictures. And I'm almost 40, and I've been doing worship for a long time, and I've always just loved the church, whatever that looks like. And that takes on so many different forms, even on the other side of the world. There's underground churches. There's people who have been in oppressive situations for a long time. And so there's so many things that, that the church looks like in this season. And I'm just honored to add my voice to what the heart of God wants to do, like just sharing what I feel like God's saying. And what an honor, to get to write for people, and just to add value to their prayers, and give them some fresh wind of the spirit. It's just so sweet.
I love that you say whatever the church looks like, because right now, 2020, the church looks like all kinds of different things.
Yeah, totally.
It's so important for us to have worship that leads us into the presence of God, reveals who he is. And this collection of songs is just right on point. I want to talk about Let the Light In, because I talked with Cody, Kari's husband, earlier in the year. He released Let the Light In on his album. And at the time, it was one that just kind of stood out right away. And it jumped right off the page, so to speak. And Kari now has that on her album. And at the time, Cody was talking about how these songs were meant for people to sing together, that let the light in, open up the windows part, hoping for it to awaken the church, which people have hoped for and have had a sense of in 2020. And so I'd love to talk with you, Kari, about Let the Light In and your version of it.
Yeah, I love the song. When he wrote it and came home that day, I was like, whoa, this is so fun. The boys jump around and dance to it. It's so fun. But as we were preparing for the album, there's always like this element of trying to figure out when you feel like it's ready. And I felt like there were still a few holes. And it was the last song that I added to the project, because I was like, everything that it says in there is everything I still want to say. Just, it's time for the sleeper to wake. It's time to, just let the light in. Like, yes, we're in a frustrating, oppressive season, but God is bigger. And let's just remind our spirit, of his truth. So I was like, what if I put this on the project? I was like, oh, that would be so fun. And it's a girl version, for worship leaders out there. When you give a girl another option of a fast song, that's a big deal.
Fast songs. Yeah, they're so hard to come by. That's a
Yeah.
sweet segue into Heaven Invade, because
Yes.
that's another one. It's so fun.
Yay, good. I love it. It's so happy. Again, our boys just dance around, jump around with that one too. It's so fun.
Well, you've got the lyric in there, can't stay silent, can't stay still. And I'm like, that's kids.
It is very much kids.
That's a mom lyric right there.
It is, yeah.
But I love the song. It opens the whole record. But my favorite version of it is like the toy instrument version that you guys did on social media. That was like the best thing I'd seen in weeks. That's so fun.
That was fun. We had just, at pre-production, we had just recorded a video like that for Martin Smith. It was his 50th birthday. And so while we were in that zone, we were like, we should do Heaven Invade. This would be really fun. So we did. I was so glad. I forgot we had done it. And my team sent it to me and they were like, hey, we should post this. I was like, yes, I forgot about that. So I was glad we did. It was cute.
Oh, so cool. I can't believe Martin Smith is 50.
I can't either.
Whoa.
No,
how cool to do Obsession on your project too.
Yeah, I love those are classic worship songs.
I know. I mean, you and I are like nearly the same age. I'm a little older. But
you don't look older. I love it.
Back in college, I remember Obsession was like one of those that it just, I would have that on repeat. It would take me away for weeks and weeks. I mean, so did you listen to that back in the day?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All those songs were massive for me, especially as a worship leader. They were transforming worship at the time. They were for like a little more edgy and just like where we were, you could tell they were where we were going.
Yeah.
Literally. It's pretty crazy.
But there's still that song. I've heard that one covered a lot in the past few years, or worship leaders will, bring it in, tag a song with it or something. Right. But man, what a song. Still stands up.
Mm-hmm.
The new project, The Blessing, is out. It's available now. The merch is out and available now. I gotta get me one of those Lions sweatshirts or something. It's really cool stuff. So all of that is there. Also, Kari's doing a cool thing with Spotify playlists, what worship songs you're listening to now. So get involved with her on social media. See all the videos. It's so great to have the live version of the song and the video of it too, because it's so moving to watch you lead worship live when the people aren't there, but it still really comes across as truly authentically leading while recording those songs. It's awesome.
Thank you. I'm so thankful. And I wanted people to experience the songs and not just listen. When you have an experience with the presence of God, it sticks with you. We hear stuff all the time, but we don't necessarily experience something massive with it. But you don't forget when you go to Disney. You don't forget when you go to a really cool big football game. You don't forget when the Spirit of God comes on you and the Lord speaks to you and reminds you of what he's called you to and things like that. So I just love that I got to put video to it too.
Yeah, those encounters leave you with your heart burning within you. I mean, that's what the disciples say. It's what we all feel. And so thanks for releasing songs that help us in that kind of a way. It's a really fantastic album, Kari.
Thank you. I'm so honored. Thanks for chatting with me. This was fun.
Yeah.